Imagine being in a silent, dark cave where time seems to have stopped. You hear slow, steady footsteps, a muffled sound of something dragging. If on ancient stones a flickering light approaches, it is a lantern, and just behind it, a small hooded figure walks towards you. She looks at you and slowly raises a chef's knife. His name:
Tonberry. And if you're hearing this name now for the first time, maybe it's too late. Unlike many monsters who scream, run, make noise, Tonberry doesn't need it. His terror is in the silence, in the empty gaze, in the slow, inevitable step. This is one of the most iconic and scariest enemies in the Final Fantasy franchise. A creature that contradicts every design rule. Small looking, seemingly harmless, almost cute, but relentlessly deadly and always ready to take the price for the lives you've already taken. Hey guys, who's talking to you? Rodrigo Aaron, only RPG games and beauty, quiet. I hope you enjoyed the video, so let's go today, Tonberry.
Today we will explore what makes Tonberry so special, from the last appearance to his darker versions. We will reveal each game, where it arises, its behaviors, abilities, variants, and even the legend behind its creation. Get ready to meet the revenge personification of the Final Fantasy worlds. Final Fantasy V, the beginning of silent fear. Tonberry's first appearance was in Final Fantasy V, but in a rather timid way. Here he was already demonstrating his classic demeanor, slow approach, knife in hand, but still lacked his devastating abilities. Like Big or Karma, it was almost a terror rehearsal it would become. Still, defeating him required caution. Most players were taken aback by the amount of damage such a small monster could do.
In Final Fantasy XVI, Tonberry appears in the Cave of the Animals. Here he gains one of his most striking abilities, Traveler, a precursor to the Tarma attack. It dealt damage based on the number of steps taken by the player. It was the first time that the player began to punish not only his actions in battle, but simply the fact of you. To exist in the game world, a perfect reflection of the idea of inevitable consequence. The longer you live, the more you must pay. Final Fantasy VII, Is Time a Punishment?
In Final Fantasy VII, the legend gains strength. Tonberry appears in the Battle Square and North Block with the ability called Team of Mace, which deals damage based on total game time. Literally, the more you play, the more he hurts you. The more powerful Master Tonberry version used Everon's Glue, which deals damage based on the total number of monsters killed by each character.
A silent courtroom, where your running record defines your sentence. Final Fantasy VIII, The Dark Royalty. In Final Fantasy VIII, Tonberry has signed an even more significant role. He appears in the central ruins and the castle of Ultimeser, defeating 18 to 20 common Tonberries, unlocks the encounter with Tonberry King, who after the battle becomes a guardian force, a kind of summon. This is the first time a player can turn this vengeful entity into an ally. Although he has no bonding ability, his support skills are exceptional, packed with the very personification of revenge.
Final Fantasy IX. Escape after the deadly strike. In Final Fantasy IX, the So Beautiful appear in Ipsen Castle, usually in trios. They maintain the behavior of approaching slowly, using the boss knife and the devastating Ever-One stick when they manage to hit an attack that deals a maximum damage of 9999 points. and immediately flee the battle, one final attack and disappear, as if they have fulfilled their mission of punishment and return to the shadows. Final Fantasy X, The Ritual of Revenge. In Final Fantasy X, they appear in the Cave of Stolen Faith. Their demeanor is classic, chief knight and slow approach, but when they face Eos, they invoke voodoo.
In Final Fantasy X, they appear in the Cave of Stolen Faith. Classic demeanor, but when facing Eos, they invoke voodoo, creating a summoning doll and stabbing it to deal direct damage. Completing the bestiary of this area unlocks Don't Bell, a brutal version. Every attack is a reminder that revenge waits. Final Fountains 10. 2 double damage. In the universe of Final Fountains 10-2, Mega Tonberry appears. His ability is Karma, now not only drains HP, but also MP by half. Chef Knight remains lethal. His presence marks an intensification of cruelty. Punishment now strikes body and spirit. You don't just die, you're drained.
Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV, The Curse of Origin, and in those online games that the origin of the Tonberry is actually explored in Final Fantasy IX, we find out that they are descendants of the Kulu, banished by Zilart, and turned into monsters by ancestral mages. In Final Fantasy XIV, the lineals succumb to a plague called Green Death, becoming Tonberries. The Wanderer's Palace becomes the refuge of his fury, where players' every step is observed, every mistake punished. Final Fantasy XII and XIII, Tactical Evolutions.
In 12, the name Tonberry appears as a code name for warships and secret chiefs. In Finale Sources and 13, Tonberry surprises in a mission. He kills the boss instead and becomes the new enemy. During the fight, he slowly escalates. His fury starts weak and goes on gaining buffets, resistance and damage, a perfect representation of how revenge, when cultivated, becomes relentless. Final Fantasy XV or Silent Hunter. Here he switches between passive and aggressive modes, can attack with knife, fire and even devastating combos. Sir Tonberry and Master Tonberry wear hoods and envelop their knives in purple flames, almost like lightsabers, a direct reference to pop culture, connecting their style to figures such as Little Girl or Mickey from King of Russi. But unlike the wise masters, this little being knows only one lesson: settling accounts. Side appearances, tactics, theaters, and even anime. Tonberry also appears TEDx from Sedia, Chocobs, Dungio, and even Final Fantasy Tipo Zero. In the latter, is the commander saves the life of a Tonberry who becomes his assistant. This is the only time we see Tonberry as a playable character, albeit controlled by YA. Conclusion. The trial of the living Tonberry is not just an enemy, it is a concept, an idea that haunts us in everything we do. 1 hour back, every monster you kill, every step you take, every second you see, it's coming slowly, quietly, with a knife in his hand. And now, knowing all this, would you have the courage to face one? If you enjoyed this true autopsy of the mystery behind Tonberry, leave your like. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with that friend who thinks every cute monster is harmless. And comment on what Tom Bello and Macho's version is. It gave me nightmares, and if you want another character, comment there which one you want me to do. Thank you guys, thank you very much, from the bottom of my heart. We are together.